Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into something that's honestly one of the most important ideas for creating anything great, whether that's an app, a new service, or, even a business strategy. We're talking about the huge difference between the problem space and the solution space. And trust me, getting this right, that's the real secret to building things that people actually want and love. So let's kick things off with a question I'm sure we've all wondered about. Why do so many products, even with smart teams and tons of money, just completely fail? Remember Juicero, that $400 Wi-Fi connected juicer that just squeezed a bag of fruit pulp someone else already prepared? It was this amazing piece of engineering that pretty much nobody needed. But then, on the other hand, you have features like Spotify's Discover Weekly that feel like they're literally reading your mind. What's the difference? Well, it all comes down to which world they decided to live in. And yeah, the answer is usually way simpler than you'd think. It's because we get excited. We fall in love with some cool new tech or a really slick design or just a clever bit of code. The Juicero team, they fell in love with their fancy high-tech press. They jumped straight into the solution space way before they actually understood the problem they were trying to solve for people. So to avoid that trap, you've got to start thinking about product development as happening in two totally separate worlds. On one side, you have the problem space, and on the other, you've got the solution space. They are not the same thing, and knowing which world you're in at any given moment, well, that's everything. Okay, first up, the problem space. This is your user's world. Think about Spotify again. For them, this space was all about realizing that people felt totally overwhelmed trying to find new music. They were stuck in a rut listening to the same old stuff. And notice, we're not talking about algorithms or playlists here, not yet. It's just about the what is the actual issue, and the why. Why does this bother them? Then, and only after you've lived in that world, do you get to enter the solution space. This is our world, right? The world of features and UI and code. This is where Spotify's team could finally ask, okay, how are we going to solve this music discovery problem? This is where the actual product, the thing you can see and touch, finally starts to take shape. So here's the absolute key takeaway. The problem space is all about understanding. It's deep empathy. It's getting super clear on what's wrong. The solution space, that's all about creating. It's the stuff you build, the app, the website, the physical device. And you just can't create a meaningful solution if you don't truly get the problem first. Right about now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it, problem, solution, got it. But why is this simple idea so important? Well, it turns out that consciously splitting these two up has some massive payoffs for any team. In fact, when you really obsess over the problem first, it delivers 4 huge, game-changing benefits. And these benefits are pretty awesome. I mean, you avoid wasting time and money on premature solutions. The next Juicero. But it's also more strategic. By forcing yourself to stay focused on what users actually need, you open up the space for real innovation to happen. You make sure that when you finally get around to building, you're aiming at exactly the right target. So how do you actually do this? How do you navigate these two worlds in a structured way? Well, luckily for us, there's a fantastic map that teams all over the world use. It's called the Double Diamond Model. At its heart, the double diamond is really just a simple picture. It's a visual way to show the whole journey, from that initial fuzzy challenge all the way to a final tested solution. It's just a great way to organize your team's thinking and process. And here's what that journey looks like. It's got this really cool rhythm of expanding your thinking and then focusing it. The first diamond is the problem space. First, you diverge, you go wide to explore every single part of the problem. Then you converge, you narrow down to define the one critical thing you have to solve. Then you move to the second diamond, the solution space, and you do it all over again. You diverge to brainstorm tons of crazy ideas, and then finally you converge on the single best solution to actually build. Explore, define, explore, deliver. It's a really simple but powerful rhythm. Once you truly understand this model and this whole mindset, you're on the real path to genuine innovation. It's all about bringing structure to your creativity, so you're not just guessing. Now, let's be real, in the real world, it's not always this perfectly neat, straight line. Teams often bounce back and forth between the two spaces as they learn new things. And that's exactly why collaboration between designers, product managers, and engineers is so absolutely critical. Everybody on the team needs to have that same shared understanding of both the problem and the possible solutions. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to this one idea. Making that distinction between the problem and the solution is fundamental.
It isn't just a process you follow, it's the very foundation of any successful innovation.
So, I'll just leave you with this one thought. Before your next meeting, before you start designing that next feature, before you write a single line of code, just stop. Stop and ask your team, and more importantly, ask yourself this one simple, incredibly powerful question. What problem are we really trying to solve here?